The first step to use in UE5 is downloading the engine. First, go to unrealengine.com and under Products, go to Unreal Engine 5. Click on the Download Now button. Make sure you read the license and the FAQ. You need to first download the launcher and install it. You'll need to make an Epic Games account if you don't already have one. Once the launcher is installed, you can click on the Install Engine button in the upper right of the launcher. The Epic Games Launcher is a hub for everything you do with Epic Games. The News section offers information about Epic Games and Unreal Engine. The Samples section offers free sample projects that can be used within Unreal Engine. The Marketplace tab is where you can purchase and download add-ons, projects, and assets. In case you don't know, Epic Games offers free Marketplace assets each month. Twinmotion is a visualization tool that you can also download from the Epic Games Launcher. We won't be using the software right now, but I do have plans for future tutorials. The Library tab is where your engine versions, projects, and vaults live. You can launch Unreal Engine from the desktop icon, but I recommend doing so from the launcher so you're made aware of any updates to the engine or your add-ons. To start a new Unreal Engine project, click on the Launch button in the upper right of the launcher. If you have multiple versions installed, you can either click Launch on the individual icons or use the drop-down menu of the Launch button. Once Unreal Engine is launched, you'll see the Unreal Project Browser. Here you can access recent projects. You can also access templates for games, film, video, and live events, architecture, automotive product design and manufacturing, and simulations. For this tutorial, we'll be using a games template. Under the Games option, choose the blank template. Select your project location. This will be a large file, so make sure you have enough space. Give your project a name. No spaces or dashes are allowed, but you can use an underscore. If you're going to be doing any coding, you can choose to use either Blueprint, which is a visual coding language, or C++. We'll just leave this on Blueprint for this tutorial. Choose a target platform, desktop or mobile. In this case, we'll just leave it as desktop. The quality preset can be either maximum or scalable. For this tutorial, we'll leave it as maximum. We do want some starter content for this tutorial. You can enable ray tracing if you wish. When you have everything set up, click on Create. You're now in Unreal Engine and ready to work. If any of you are coming from UE4, you'll notice some differences in the default UI. At the bottom left of the window, you'll see your content drawer, which can be accessed either by clicking on the icon or using Control Spacebar. For me, I like to pin the content drawer just to make life a bit easier. With the content drawer open, all the way on the right, you'll see an option to dock in layout. The content drawer then becomes the content browser, and you can still resize it as needed. If you click on the icon in the upper right that looks like a grid, you have the ability to see all 4 views. This can come in handy to quickly change your view. To select a view, in our case the perspective view, click on the box icon in the upper right corner. You also have the option of changing the view with the drop-down menu in the upper left. For anyone who is used to using the WASD keys for gaming, you have that option to move around in UE5. Hold down the right mouse button and use W to move forward, A to move left, S to move backward, and D to move to the right. Combining the right mouse button and the E key, you can move up, and the right mouse button and the Q key move your actors down. If you're not a gamer or just not comfortable using these hotkeys, there is another option. You can hold down the left mouse button and move the mouse forward and backwards to move back and forth in the level. Using the left mouse button and moving the mouse side to side will rotate around the level. Holding down the middle mouse button and moving the mouse allows you to freely pan. Scrolling the middle mouse button will allow you to zoom in and out. Alternatively, you can hold down Alt right mouse button and move the mouse to zoom. Holding down the right mouse button, you can freely pivot around the camera. Using Alt left mouse button allows you to pivot around a selection. If you left-click to select an actor and then click on the F key, you can frame the selected actor. There are 4 basic transformation gizmos in UE5: select, move, rotate, and scale. Double-click on the starter content folder to open it. Then double-click on the props folder to open it. This is where your starter content lives. Select the chair by using your left mouse button and drag it into the level. Now note, any object that can be placed within a level in UE5 is considered an actor. This can be seen in the outliner where the chair is a static mesh actor. The arrow icon is the selection tool. Left-clicking on an actor will select it. The hotkey for selection is Q. Next is the Move tool. The hotkey is W. We can move the actor along any of the 3 axes by using the arrows of the gizmo: red for the x-axis, green for the y-axis, and blue for the z-axis. If you select the center of the Move tool, you can freely move the actor in any direction. If you select the blue plane, notice how the y-axis and z-axis arrows both highlight. This means that you can move the actor along both the y and z axis. If you select the green plane between the green and red arrows, you can move the actor along both the x and y axis. If you select the red plane between the red and blue arrows, you can move the actor along both the x and z axis. A hotkey that will save you a lot of frustration is the End key. If you move the chair up along the z-axis so it's hovering in space, you can then use the End key to snap the actor back to the ground. The E key is the hotkey for the Rotate tool. Just like the Move tool, you can rotate the actor around individual axes. Control Z is the Undo key. The R key is the hotkey for the Scale tool. Once again, you can scale along an individual axis just like the other tools. If you select the center of the Scale tool, you can scale the actor proportionally. If you select the intersecting lines between the different axes, you can scale the actor along two of the three axes at once. Next to these tools, you'll see an icon of a globe. This toggles between world space and local space. If you choose the rotate tool and rotate the chair, notice that it rotates according to world space, that is, according to the world axis. If you click on the icon and change to local space, notice that the rotate tool gizmo changed. This means that you're now rotating in local space, that is, rotating according to the chair's local axes. Click on the icon to go back to world space. Notice that when you use the move gizmo to move the chair, it's stuttering. This is due to snapping. Snapping to the grid is automatically turned on by default. You can turn it off by clicking on the snapping tool icon. You can also change the position grid snap value to a larger or smaller value. On the right side of the level viewport is the outliner. Anyone who's used Blender will be familiar with an outliner. This is the area where you can see all the content currently within the level. You can select and deselect content in the outliner. You can hide and unhide content by using the eyeball to the left of the content name. You can pin content in the level so that it cannot be rotated, scaled, or moved. To unpin the content, simply select it. You are also able to double-click on the content name and frame it within the level viewport. You can also select content and use F2 to rename it. You can keep things a lot tidier by selecting the content and placing it within folders. Right-click in the outliner to make a new folder and name it. Then select your content with the left mouse button and drag it into the folder. Below the outliner is the Details panel. The options will change depending upon the actor you have selected. We'll be exploring this in more detail in later tutorials. For now, just be aware that if you want to change the location, rotation, or scale, you can do so under the Transform section. The curved arrow icons to the right of the value field will reset the location and rotation of the selected content. I will quickly show you how to import your own actors into UE5. First, open the Content folder, right-click and make a new folder. Rename the folder to whatever makes sense to you. Open the new folder, since this is where you can import an FBX file that you already have access to. In my case, I'll use a mole from a previous tutorial. You can simply drag and drop the FBX file into the folder. You'll see a pop-up menu for FBX import options. Right now, you can leave everything at default and click on Import. You can just ignore these errors for now. Now note, if you're using Blender, when you export the FBX, under the Geometry panel and under the Smoothing drop-down menu, choose Face. This means you won't receive a smoothing error in UE5. One of the errors I received was about the wood texture. If I double click on the wood material in the folder, notice that the base color is missing. I select the parameter node and delete it. I can then drag and drop my wood color texture into the folder. I then drag and drop the color texture into the material window. I connect it to the base color. Then I click on Apply and Save. Now my mall is correctly textured. You also have access to Quixel Megascans from within UE5. Under the Window drop-down menu, choose Quixel Bridge. Under 3D Assets, go to Props. Then choose a prop from the list. Select the quality and click on Download. Once it's downloaded, click on Add. Back in UE5, notice that you have a new Megascans folder with your downloaded prop. Now all you need to do is select the static mesh actor and drag it into the level viewport. To bring in actors from the Epic Games Marketplace, open the Window drop-down menu and choose Open Marketplace. Under the Free drop-down menu, select Permanently Free. Select a pack and click on Add to Cart. Click on the cart icon and check out. Under the Library tab, find the Asset pack and choose Add to Project. Select your project and click on Add to Project. Now you have a new folder containing the Asset pack. Open the folder and find the Mesh folder. Open the folder and choose a mesh you want to import. Now, as you did with the Quixel Megascans, drag and drop the actor into the level viewport. You can also access the options for Quixel Megascans and Epic Games Marketplace under the Add to Project icon. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video about getting started in UE5, then you're probably interested in filmmaking or game development. So if you're interested in those topics, you may enjoy this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.